The end of the regular season is approaching, and the Lakers have a tough task ahead of them. Currently, they are in the 6th seed, but that is likely to change by the time the season ends. First of all, just the schedule itself is brutal. They have 6 games left. 4 of those will be part of a back-to-back, and all of those games will be against playoff teams also fighting for a spot. Yeah, that's really tough. And before you blame the NBA for the schedule and making things harder for the Lakers, I actually think they were trying to do the defending champs a solid. If you remember the start of the season, the Lakers had a fairly easy schedule. The NBA understood that this was a short turnaround, and they tried to give the Lakers time to rest, even stating that they'll allow veteran players to sit out some games. So with all those easy teams at the beginning, the harder teams had to come later in the season, and that just so happens to be right now. But they probably figured that a team with LeBron and AD would be at the top of the standings towards the end of the season, not fighting for a spot in the playoffs. If everything went according to plan, they probably would have rested their guys at this point, because their position wouldn't matter as much. Unfortunately, things didn't go according to plan. Nobody expected the Lakers to lose both of their stars to injury at the same time, and nobody expected them to be fighting for their playoff lives. But these unfortunate string of events led to the position we're in right now. It sucks because this whole time they were trying to get healthy so that all the players could gain that chemistry and learn how to play with each other before the playoffs. Now it seems that they won't get that chance and will have to learn on the fly while playing playoff basketball. There's no way to sugarcoat it. The Lakers are more than likely going to end up in the play-in tournament. I hope I'm wrong, but the odds are not in their favor. Not only is the schedule itself tough, now the Lakers are down a starting point guard. Dennis Schroeder, he's out due to health and safety protocols, and essentially will miss the rest of the regular season. We can't understate his importance. The Lakers were 0-5 without Dennis Schroeder up until the win against the Nuggets. There's a reason for that. He's essentially their only ball handler and playmaker outside of LeBron. And they definitely can't rely on LeBron right now, nor should they. He's dealing with ankle issues and needs to be as healthy as possible for the playoffs. So he'll most likely be in and out of the lineup for the final games. And even when he does play, he can't be expected to play at the same level or have the same offensive load while he's nursing that ankle. So the Lakers are essentially going to have to try to win the rest of these games without a playmaker. That is a really tough task. Not to mention that they've been playing really bad basketball recently. It's almost as if they've already punched their ticket to the play-in tournament. Of course, it's not a certainty. Maybe some of the top teams will try to tank these last few games to try and avoid the Lakers. Especially these breakout teams like the Suns and the Jazz. Think about it. You work so hard during the regular season, win a bunch of games, only to have to face the defending champions in the first round? Yeah, that sucks. Even if the Lakers don't look that great, they're still the defending champs. They still have LeBron. They still have Anthony Davis. That's not someone you want to see in the first round. So maybe some of these teams try to manipulate the standings and lose on purpose to avoid the Lakers. And who knows, maybe the Lakers do figure it out and get out of their funk, despite having key players out of the lineup. We did see a bit of life, and a little bit of that champion spirit in their win against Denver. The good news is that they're in control of their own destiny. Dallas has the tiebreaker against them, so if they have the same record, the Mavs will take the 5th seed. But they currently have a lead over the Blazers. And if they just do better than Portland, they'll maintain the 6th seed and be out of the play-in tournament. But that all depends on the Lakers. It's going to be a difficult task, and we'll see if they're up to it. All we can do now is hope for the best.